What is up, guys? This is Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode number 104. Seems like we should be further than that, but hey, we're getting slowly but surely. But anyways, no, this is not a mirage. You only see Jason and myself. No biggie. Everybody else had things going on, especially since it's a Tuesday night now, so they decided they had other things to take care of, which I understand and respect. But
mostly work.
Yeah, work is always, not in a way, just always going, it seems like. So
I don't know about you, but today felt like Monday. It was Monday number 2 of the week.
Number 2 for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's how Jake put it too.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very understandable. So, but yeah, no, we're gonna have you a full show tonight with Jason and myself. We'll make things up as we go along, like always. No, I'm kidding. We have some stuff in mind to discuss and just kind of go over some fun things and just whatever we can come up with. You know, it's usually some good talks. And
you bet.
Well, sorry you're stuck with just Jason and I, because him and I can talk. We can talk forever.
Yeah,
on this.
So we're going till about midnight tonight, right?
So call in sick tomorrow, people, because we're gonna go full strong. So
remember, we've done the whole 8-hour podcast thing, so.
And that's I'm thinking about doing that again. So
I want to so bad.
I know it'll be fun. So
we could do it again at the salon down in Delano again.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you want to do it here, we could do it here.
Well, I was thinking of our 100th episode.
Oh yeah,
the redo. Yes. Doing that one maybe.
I can't wait for that.
Possibly.
For the fact of the experiments we're going to be doing and the multiple cameras.
Yeah.
And everything. And,
it's something you definitely want to tune in, and we'll announce that well enough so everybody can kind of clear their slates or your schedules, that we can kind of find out what's going on, because it's going to test our wits, our strengths, you know, both mentally and physically.
What we need to do is see if Andy, Renee, and Chris are available too.
They are. Renee said, "Let me know when I can come down." So she's watching it right now. So
good.
Yep, we just haven't talked to.
We need to have them all on for that episode, because I think it's going to be fantastic. We're going to need all hands.
Oh yeah, yep. Because we'll have somebody running the board too during the podcast and flipping back and forth through cameras and whatnot, and then also people doing their experiments. And
well, you need to be part of the experiment, so you got to teach me all that stuff.
We'll take turns, definitely. So
because if you know me, and for those who don't know me about everything, I'm not tech, and I don't know crap about this.
Yes, he is. He's tech. Don't let him fool you. Tech 9.
Which I don't even know who that is.
It's a rapper out of Kansas
City. I know. Corey's kids talk about him, and her oldest boy loves him, and I have no idea who that is.
Nice.
Keep talking about it. I'm like, who's this?
Yep.
Anyway.
So, well, should we let the cat out of the bag about, can we announce it yet or anything, or can we not?
For
what you told us Friday?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Right. For the big.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
I didn't know where things were at, so okay.
Yeah.
So we'll come back with that some other time. Yeah, I apologize for letting that slide. People at home just have to stay in suspense, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, no, but anyways, we had some fun over the weekend. We got to go investigate, finally, as a team again. I know some of the other team was down in Dodge City with Carl, who's watching tonight, by the way. Hey, Carl and Renee, everybody, down in Dodge. And Charles, I see Charles on there too. He was part of that too. So, but they got to go to Depot Saturday night, while some of us stayed here in Wichita, and we had tended to personal, things and stuff. But the other team, those remained in Wichita here, actually got to investigate Friday night at a private location, a business that we've never been to before, that the guys have been wanting us to come out. We just could because of this whole COVID-19 thing. Plus, our schedules are booked prior to. Yeah. So it's one of our 6 or 7 cases we got lined up.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I mean,
I've always wanted to go in there. I never thought I'd ever get a chance, and especially to investigate it.
And we had the whole place to ourselves. It was 3 stories. I think Jake told me there's a 4th story down below, a basement.
I think there is a basement.
I never saw how to get down there or where.
Yeah,
so not that it matters, but
yeah. I did look up like the history of it and everything, and like the people involved and the past and all that stuff, and it was it was built by, oh hell, I don't care, they're not gonna listen to it, but Messner, he married Tammy Faye Baker.
Is that what you guys were saying the other day?
Yeah,
okay,
so
I didn't understand.
He married Tammy Faye Baker after her pastor husband went off to jail.
Gotcha.
And then I think Messner went to jail as well. I think.
Okay.
I think I'd have to look that up. I think that's what Roth was telling me about and everything like that. But
Huh.
they, he was a contractor who built a bunch of mega churches all over the country.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just here. And the building we were in was one of those former churches.
I didn't realize that. I know you guys kept saying that it was a church. I didn't know how that tied in.
I know.
It doesn't look like a church.
But there was, like, up on the second floor and the bottom floor, that main office there. I don't know what that was. If that was a part of a sanctuary at one time without the offices.
Could be.
Or upstairs on the second floor, there's another, was it second or third? Second floor had another entryway.
Oh, really?
And everything. That
Okay.
Kinda,
Off to the right when you come up the staircase?
yeah, you come
Okay.
up, turn, and then it's off to your right.
I heard it was a big room, a big gigantic
So I
room.
think
Okay.
that was like one of the sanctuaries at one time too.
Yeah.
Now it's just business offices.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll probably go back again.
Oh, yeah. Especially because luckily the owners were with us. One of the owners, well, not the owners, one of the guys that rents an office out of there, him and his
One
friend.
of the bigger ones.
Yeah. The main area, really,
Yeah,
because that's where all the activity stems from.
Yeah.
And but no, we got to go in there and do that, and had a fun, interesting night. I just experienced some of the stuff he right off the bat. Experienced things that he got to experience. He sees all the time with the shadow, and we set up, the the EDI machine, which for the viewers at home, it's a machine that detects, the EMF field. It detects temperature. It detects. It's also like a geophone where it detects vibration, and also it's like a millimeter where it detects, things in milligauss or whatever for the EMF field. But right off the bat, we set it up. Nothing was happening, and all of a sudden we start talking to this thing.
I should go get it. It's out in the car.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to. This thing starts immediately answering to us and responding to us, and we had motion sensors going off right next to it too. That was going, in conjunction with this thing moving, and it was the shadow person that he saw, and it was just crazy. Like within the first 5 minutes of investigating, maybe not even 5.
I think you and Jake had stuff going on the moment you guys walked in.
That's
and started
true.
Just walking around and going upstairs.
Yeah, we were upstairs
I think
and on the very third floor, and it's kind of cool because the ceilings are mirrored.
Exactly. It's so weird, so bizarre. You could stand at the bottom main lobby, look up on every single floor, and see what's on the floor. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and no, it's not the Playboy Mansion with the mirrors. I'm just kidding. But no, it's like I said, you can see from like Jason said, the bottom floor all the way up. You can see things. So we had cameras shooting up that way in case we could see shadows on the ceiling, and we also had cameras shooting down the hallway in case we saw anything. But Jake and I were setting up our cameras on the third floor, and we heard loud as can be walking on the floor above us, which is Sorry, we got banging
Kinda
upstairs.
like
There's no floor upstairs on where we were at. That was the third and final floor. So, and it's a glass mirrored ceiling. So, but this thing was running and walking across plain as day. And we talked about it. And later on, the owner's friend, I keep calling him the owner. He's not the owner, but his friend was up there, and he came back to me later on. He's like, "Man, I just heard some crashing upstairs. Like some loud walking on the glass." I'm like, "Get out of here! That's what we just heard. Earlier in the day." So,
Did you ever see the attic? Jake and I found the attic and went inside.
I didn't know it was an attic.
It's where it kind of looks like a mail room.
Yes, that door.
That tiny little door.
Okay.
So I went over there and I opened it because it was a tiny door, and I'm tiny, so I thought, hey,
it's a regular sized door for you.
It's a chance to look big, So I opened it.
Right.
And of course Jake laughed at me.
Oh my gosh.
But we walked in. Here I am walking in normal, and Jake's like kind of humped over, walking into the. But it didn't go anywhere except maybe
just so
10
far.
feet.
Yeah.
And then it was just nothing but insulation and piping and stuff like that. Hot as can be up there.
But you guys could actually walk in there?
Just a little ways.
Oh, me, and I'll never do attics anymore because...
Oh, I know.
For the people that are
That's why I never mentioned it.
People that are newer to the show, we were at a business here in Wichita, and I was getting these high EMF spikes towards the ceiling. But, well, if you look up at the ceiling, it's kind of like a dome shape in there at this... I'll just say what it is. It's the Candle Club restaurant here in Wichita. It's a real swanky restaurant where you could go in, and it used to be allegedly the Wichita Mafia used to occupy this location, back in the day. And we're talking some.
Usually can't be a member unless you're invited or something like that.
And it costs monthly fees, that type of thing.
And they don't advertise, so you either know about it or you don't.
So we went into this place and got to investigate, and this is. I don't know, Sunday morning, because they close. Obviously, it's a bar. They close at 3 o'clock in the morning. We had to come in afterwards. So, just getting high EMF spikes from the ceiling as far as I could reach, and as far as Brendan could reach, because he's 6'4", 6'6", somewhere around there. He couldn't reach very high when he was getting the same spikes I was. So the owner's seen us doing this, and he's like, "Hey, there's an attic up here. You want to go see what's up there?" I'm like, "Of course." And me being afraid of heights, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, and now I know why. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I shouldn't have done it. But anyways, we walk upstairs, and this is all on camera. Maybe one of these days, if I get brave enough, I'll show you guys. Because, anyways, but we walk up the stairs. It's the owner in front of me, myself, and then Roth's son Cody was filming behind me. And the guy in front of me tells me, and we're in darkness, by the way. He tells me, make sure you just stay on the plywood, or between, the rafters or whatever and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, makes sense. So I turn around and tell Cody the exact same thing. I tell him, not even a split second, I say, hey, turn around. I tell him, make sure you stay on the plywood. Take one more step and fall through the ceiling practically. The only thing that saved me was I fell into one of the offices of the building, where their main office was, and landed on one of their. They had a big, kind of a curio cabinet desk, like a credenza or something, whatever, that sit 20 feet up in the air, maybe. I landed on that because I actually looked down what I landed on, and it's the floor joints where they meet up. That like that. I probably would have just broke right through that. And who knows? I probably fell 20, 30 feet, and who knows what happened. I might have been a permanent fixture. Might have been a haunt of that place, but
my God.
Yeah, it scared me. I mean, and I was like, holy crap, and I was apologizing. I'm like, crap, this is going to cost me lots of money to get this fixed, and he's like, no, we were going to remodel anyway. He just kind of pushed us forward, faster than we anticipated, so we actually should be thanking you.
That's funny. I mean, for us and myself and everybody, we were worried about you. We were checking you out, but once you were okay and everything like that. We knew everything was good, and the owner or the manager was good and everything like that. We couldn't help but chuckle.
Yeah, especially on the video, because it's a loud crash. You see me 1 minute there, and next minute I'm not there.
The fact that you're telling Cody, watch your step or you're going to fall through, and the next thing you know, you just disappear from the camera.
Oh, yeah. Well, I led you guys to think I was okay. I really wasn't. I actually went down into the bathroom because I felt like I was wearing jeans because it was kind of during the...
Because it scraped your leg real bad.
Oh, yeah. Didn't tear my jeans, luckily enough, but I felt like it was just bleeding out, honestly, because it felt wet in my mind, but it wasn't really wet at all. It was just the bruising setting in, and then days later it just got worse and worse and worse. It lasted for 4 months probably. I had that bruise. It took forever to go away. It was just craziest thing, man. So that's why we got to be careful. We got to heed our own words, make sure. But But anyways, going back to this place, Friday night, not the same place. Jason's. I asked you about the attic room. Yeah. Yeah, if I'd have known that, I still wouldn't have gone in there.
No, I would have opened the door and shown you, but it just went in about 10 feet and then too much.
I can guarantee this place was a lot taller than the Candle Club's height.
Oh, yeah. This is second. Yeah. This is third floor, so yeah.
I mean, just looking at I was getting a little weirded out. Jake and I both were, because he has a little bit of fear of heights, too, he told me.
Yeah, he
just
does.
Walking those staircases, because it's you look over the edge, and it's just a straight drop. I mean, you're going down 40, 50 feet probably. So, but yeah, hopefully we can, give you some of that evidence out later on. We'll talk to the owners once we present them. We just did it Friday. We haven't had a chance to comb the evidence yet, but we also, I got touched on my arm, and I was telling these guys, because Jason had just walked out of the room, but he could hear the commotion.
Oh, yeah. I heard you guys just, all go nuts in there.
Yeah, because it was Jake in front of me, Roth to my right, and I was standing up on this half staircase. It's like a small little staircase, maybe 3 feet off the ground. It goes up into the main the office where the owner works, and he was right in front of us. And I was just calling it out, saying, hey, if you're here, make yourself known, show yourself, you can do whatever, touch me, use my energy, kind of a thing. And next thing I know, I felt like somebody had placed an ice cube on my left underneath my arm here, my tricep, and it startled me because I'm in the pitch black other than some ambient light, and I just felt this cold fingers on my hand.
You were still standing on the steps?
I was up on the steps, so I was above everybody, and they were looking up at me. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I probably said some colorful language, I'm sure. Well, as I said that, not even a split second later, Jake and the owner was right in front of me, and you see them both point because they saw with their own eyes what touched me. Right. There was this glowing ball of light that shot out from behind me that they follow, and you see them both at the same time, one on each side, just going there, and we just saw it, and they're just pointing in unison together with this thing's free floating, and I didn't see it at the time because I was looking around like, what the hell just touched me? You know, I was expecting it to be behind me still, but apparently it flew out from behind me and went forward. So it was just amazing. I watched part of the video the other day, and I'm gonna show Jason after hours because after the show, whatever, he hasn't seen it yet. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty. You can see it. We'll just say that you can see it. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, but I was like, what? I'm reading some of the things on the side over here. Sorry. No, but the Dodge crew had some fun things. I wish they were here to talk about it, but they saw some shadows and stuff that they haven't encountered yet because they got to go to a different part of the building. I've been there once, I think, or maybe twice in the other side of the building at the Dodge Depot.
Right.
It's called the Harvey Girls. It's where they used to stay. I think it's called the Homestead Theater now is what it is.
We've walked through there once before. The very
first time we were ever there. That's where we caught one evidence years ago. It was the door slamming.
That's right.
So we weren't there, maybe, 10 minutes just to tour the building and walked right out.
Carl just walked us through and stuff,
But people at home, they're wanting to do this. I know you see on TV, they make little short bursts of, audio recordings. I'm notorious for carrying mine from the minute I get there to the minute I leave. And this is why, because we capture things like that. So, but anyways, we caught the door slamming in there. And I think Renee didn't remember that.
She says she doesn't remember being inside there. And she may not have been there that day.
No, she was.
Was she?
Yeah, because the first time we ever met Carl, and we went down to the basement with Squidward.
Oh,
that's when she got her sweatshirt tugged by the thing that we saw later on that her and I were discussing. We saw the same entity.
Maybe she just showed up later.
That could have been. That could have been too.
That or she's just getting old.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. She is 40 now, so I can throw her under the bus. So yeah, she's getting old. But no, we saw the same entity in the basement that we were discussing later on, and she was. I didn't want to tell you what it looked like, but at my time, Leo, he had a certain style of him. It looked like Leo basically, and he wasn't there obviously. But I had thought the same thing, the same style of same hairstyle and facial features, kind of a thing from a side view. And she said, I didn't want to tell you that because I thought it might freak you out, but I was like, no, that's exactly what I saw too. So maybe we saw the same thing, obviously, but that was in the basement at the depot. But no, they got to go to the Homestead Theater the side this time, and they caught something.
Which I think is going to be open for the public once we get a chance to do another event there. So.
Yep. Good, because I've been thinking about that. I wanted to do that in the past, because I mean, the depot's big enough, but you can still hear from the third floor to the basement sometimes, depending where you're at.
Scooch a good section of people over there. Plus, after midnight, I think Carl can get us into the Amtrak place too.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, it'd be nice just to do new areas. Plus, we need to spread things out.
We did it one time, but almost every guest tried to go into the Amtrak, and that lasted for like 2 minutes, and then everybody came walking back out. It's like, so. But I mean, it's a tiny area.
And it's still used for trains. Still, I mean, that come through passenger trains and whatnot. But
it's cool to go in. But
oh yeah, for sure. Yep. So, trying to figure out. We would guess we have one of the viewers saying, "Where are you all?" I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I know. Obviously, I don't know if she's talking to me to Renee or me. So, but yeah. She's from Topeka, she said.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we're based out of Wichita, and Renee's and them are in Dodge City right now. So we go to Topeka also. So we were just there not too long ago. Well, I say we. The groups were. I didn't go that time, but they were up in that Serendipity. And what's the restaurant next to it? Do you remember what it's called? It's like a burrito place.
Nito Burrito.
Okay, it is a burrito place. Yeah. And
then the upstairs part of that.
Yeah.
And
there's one other building. Isn't there?
There's like a clothing and everything kind of store.
Like a
that has like the cellar or basement area.
Yeah. Okay. And then last time you got to go to a bar or tattoo parlor.
We went to the tattoo parlor last time there, which is pretty close to Serendipity. And then the karaoke bar. Dana, and a couple other people that were there for the evening went over next door.
Oh, okay.
They sent Dan over just because a lot of people were over there drinking too. So
for sure.
He looks a little bigger and meaner than I do. So. So
yeah, that's cool.
Kathy sent him over to that. But no, we get up to Topeka here and there. It's whenever Kathy has stuff for us. So Kathy is owner of Ghost Tours of Kansas.
I was getting ready to say that. Check the website for Ghost Tours of Kansas. Yeah. And we always promote also Katrina. I think it's Katrina. Yeah, Katrina. Sorry, I couldn't see, but Mike's on my way. We always promote the things ahead of time before we come up there. So just be kind of watching. And we'll put it on our Facebook pages, our websites, and whatnot. So, but yeah, we go up there occasionally in that area.
And speaking of Ghost Tours of Kansas.
Yes. Well, that's good timing because she asked, do you all do tours? Go ahead. Nice segue.
So we do, like what Leo and I and the rest of our crew do here. We do public events where you get to come and investigate with us. We go all over the state. We have different locations. Mm-hmm. We're waiting for all the
coronavirus.
The pandemic things to calm down so we can set those back up again. But we usually do them all year round.
Right.
Where is this out? Dodge City being one of the main ones that we go to. We do events with Kathy with Ghost Tours of Kansas up there around Topeka or wherever she gets locations at. She has different ones throughout the state as well. Then when she has, of course, Ghost Tours of Kansas, so she has Ghost Tours in different cities. Wichita being one of them. She has 2 out in Topeka.
Right.
But the Wichita Ghost Tour canceled for the year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, no bus tour, but we're going to be kickstarting the walking tour in Delano District here pretty soon.
Yep.
I haven't responded to Kathy, but I need to respond to her about it. But yeah, she says she's going to scrap the bus rides because a lot of people are not wanting to be enclined, enclosed and stuff like that. So
yeah, why not?
Really sucks, but at the same time, I can focus more on doing the Delano tours and mixing it up because you get to kind of also investigate just a little bit with this toward the end of the tour. So it's fun.
Yeah, and every now and then we do. It's gonna sound dumb. We do private tours. It just depends on the situation, where it's at, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's also that. And she's saying that she's hearing that people always say that West Topeka is haunted. She said Topeka High is one of them.
I'm sure.
Topeka High School, yeah. So
there's so many different places in Topeka that has. Kathy goes all over and has stories. Right. I mean, she goes around all of Topeka because that's where she lives.
Right.
And that's where Ghost Tours of Kansas started. Mm-hmm. So she has multiple locations, and she's always ready to dig up more and do that. Some places don't allow it. They don't want to tell the stories, but...
Right. That's everywhere.
If she can get in, she'll get in for it.
Yeah. Exactly. So, so like I said, we'll definitely promote them. You can look on Ghost Tours of Kansas. We'll promote them on this podcast, Cryptic Heartland. We'll put them on our personal Facebook pages. I mean, I say personal, our group pages. Road Trip Paranormal being one of them. Everyday Legacy Paranormal being the other one. So, yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Cryptic Heartland right here.
Oh, yeah, duh. This one, too. Yep. So we try to promote well ahead of the actual event so you can get your tickets because they do sell out all the time and just different things. So, but, yeah. No, and I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. I figured. I didn't think about the tours because it's hard to believe. It's almost over the half the year is already gone. I mean, and we're getting close to some of the stuff that
this Saturday
shouldn't be here already.
This Saturday is the beginning of summer, so
that's true. That is true.
So yeah, we're kickstarting that, and before you know it, it's going to be, it's going to be September.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So hopefully we got some big news for September.
Yeah.
For us, hopefully.
Yep.
So keep your fingers crossed.
Yep.
That will come for us all. So.
Yeah. Andy just mentioned she has another private investigation for us to talk about too. Which,
damn it, Andy.
Throw it on the pile. We have that's gonna make like 7 or 8 at this point that we're trying to get scheduled. Like I said, we have some private ones and some big ones in the works that.
We've got to get together here soon.
Yeah.
And
map them out
and talk about So.
Yep.
Because we need already making contact with some of our clients, so therefore we got to pick a good Saturday or Friday night to do them. If they're local, we could do Friday nights and stuff like that.
Yeah, we might have to start doubling them because we have quite a few around here too that maybe we do on a Friday and a Saturday night. It's gonna be long weekends, but
yeah, we can We can do
Gotta
it.
get them done.
Got to get them done. This
Yep.
is what we do it, and this is why we put ourselves out here for the last
Yep.
10 plus years,
Over
10,
10
11,
years, yeah.
over 10 years that we've been trying to do this together and stuff
Right.
like that. So this is what we've been wanting to do, and
Yep.
we'll keep doing it.
Definitely. So craziness, but yeah. So Jason and I talked about what we're going to talk about tonight. We're just kind of there's been a lot of things we talk about this stuff in the past. I mean, it's not going to be necessarily a repeat of some of the stuff we mentioned, but
Right.
just different twists on things. Jason has some ideas. He said he wanted to talk about. I got some videos for the second part of the show, half of the show that we're going to go over. Just some fun things that I love that always make people. What's the word I'm looking for? Squeamish, I guess. Not squeamish, just kind of. If you're ever on an investigation on a private or a public one with me, just know to expect the unexpected with me. So I'm gonna just leave it at that for now. So go ahead. What would you like to talk about first, sir? You said you had something in mind, or do you want?
Well, let me just start with this. It kind
Go
of
ahead.
leads into some of the things we were going to talk about.
Okay.
But it's just, it stems off from a documentary that Corey and I were watching at home.
Uh-huh.
It's about missing children.
Okay.
And dang it, and for the life of me, I forgot the name of it. It doesn't help. I'll post it on our Cryptic Heartland Facebook page once the show's over, and I
Okay.
can find it and everything. But anyway, the documentary spans over the entire United States,
Okay.
and talks about how over the course of many years, and they just they couldn't go over every single case that's ever happened, but it just picked a handful, and it's these kids that are there. Like the main one that they had on the show, a little 3-year-old was out with, maybe he was 2. I think he was 2 actually.
Mm-hmm.
Was out with his mom, dad, grandpa's friend, and I think one of his mom's friends. They were out way off, and I think this was in Idaho. I think.
Okay.
And they were out camping. They went to a very rural, out in the middle of nowhere area where there's a creek. There is some camping spots there, but there's nobody there. And they just normal day. They were getting everything together, and they mom and dad and the friend was going to go check out the creek, or as they were calling it on the show, the crick.
Always.
The crick.
Yep.
So they were going out there to check out the fish and all that. It's not that big of a creek. It's
Okay.
not
Or
that
crick.
bad, or the crick. And there was Grandpa stayed by the camper and the fire pit and everything. Well, as they were walking off, they noticed that the little man was like following them.
Okay.
And the dad says he turns around and asks, "Hey, are you following us? Or are you going to go back with Grandpa?" And the little boy just kind of was like, yeah, okay. And then he turns around and they see him going back toward Grandpa. Well, they turn around. They go down by the creek.
Down by the river. Sorry.
Down by the river. And they were starting to see that there's a bunch of minnows that were stuck in like this little pool area.
Uh-huh.
So the dad said he thought that would be cool. So he got up and headed back to go get his son. Couldn't have been more than 5-10 minutes, if that.
Mm-hmm.
And the boy's gone.
Wow.
Just gone. There's nobody else out there.
Okay.
Grandpa,
Right.
his friend, and the 3 of them. So there's 5 adults, 1 little boy,
Mm-hmm.
gone. To this day, no sign, no trace, nothing.
Okay.
They had helicopters, they had, search and rescue all out there, found nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just in a matter of between the creek and an open area, he just disappeared.
Interesting. Okay.
Gone. Now it jumped back to all these other stories of all these boys that disappeared
Mm-hmm.
over from 1950s throughout the years. One second they're there, the next second they're gone. There's a story, Crater Lake. I can't
What's the story with it? I mean,
Well,
I know.
Crater Lake is, and God damn it, and I can't remember the state that it's in.
Is it?
It's beautiful. I mean, you could probably look it up and you could bring up a picture
it's
of it.
like I'll find that.
It's
'cause-
got a very weird.
know
It's
it.
been on paranormal shows because
Okay.
of the fact it's got a very weird aura to it, basically.
That's
It's an actual
Oregon.
crater. Yeah, it's in Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
So in Oregon,
Yep.
it's an actual crater that filled up and turned into a lake.
Okay.
Basically.
Uh-huh.
The state park people will not allow anybody to test it for like radiation or anything like that out there. They'll turn they'll turn you down. It was on paranormal shows, the same show that Callahan was on.
Oh, right.
So that show. But anyway, it has a history of missing people out there. People will just go up there, get out of their car, and boom, gone.
Weird.
And no trace. One person disappeared, and all they found was their shoe with their socks in it, but
Okay.
no person. And this is next to their car. Like, just gone. No trace of him again.
Uh-huh.
Well, this boy, there with his dad, they said that the boy had a bit of autism on some level.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
they're looking at the lake and everything. That's a good view. So the boy goes up the embankment from the road and was kind of looking at rocks and throwing rocks, and this biker came around and said, "Don't throw rocks from there," and the dad turned and said, "Hey, get back down here,"
Uh-huh.
And as the boy, just being a boy, threw the rocks down and then headed back up toward the very tip top of the hill and rounded the top of it, the dad runs up there to get him. No trace of him. Just gone. Just rounded the top. And there's just an embankment that just doesn't go anywhere. You can hike down it easily. Just gone. But it's just all these different stories around state parks and how people are just going missing in all these state parks.
Weird.
Sometimes without a trace, can't find them again. Or they'll find the body and there's no real cause of death.
Interesting.
There's only been one boy, who he would be, I think, 67 today, so that many years ago.
Oh, wow.
Many years ago. He was just, again, I think he was 2 or 3. This kid disappeared off from the family farm and all that. Now, Les Stroud from Survivor Man,
Uh-huh.
he was on there, and he hiked the path
Okay.
from where they said where they found clothing, from the spot where he was last seen to where they found clothing to where they found his body, way up on top of the mountain.
Oh, I
That
see.
was like, and it was snowy. It was below freezing at night
Put that back up.
and
for
all
people.
that. Now that's Crater Lake, and that is absolutely
And then
amazing.
you see the mountains in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crater. I mean, there's so many missing people that come from that area too. It's a weird spot that I'm just now starting to actually read about, and
I've heard of it. I just didn't know why I'd heard of it. I've probably seen it
Yeah.
on a show, like you said, and one of those.
it's beautiful. I kind of want to go see it,
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
but maybe it's in Oregon. I might be doing that sometime soon. But so this boy, so Les Stroud does it in the amount of time from when he hikes it, trying to do the amount of time that it would take a little toddler to
Right.
do this, to go off to the 2-3 miles off to the right, then go back a different direction to wind up face down in the snow up on the top of the mountain. He says there's no way this child could have done that.
Right.
And the clothing that they found, his shirt was kind of ripped up a bit. He was still carrying his jacket and everything. But the kid lived.
Interesting.
And he's 67 years old. He's on the documentary. And he holds up the clothing that he wore that day. And he goes, I have no recollection
I was going to
of
ask
anything.
you if you had
He has
anything.
no clue. He's hearing the stories. And he says, I can't tell you anything.
Huh.
He's like, I have no idea, but they tell me I was face down in the snow, and they all thought I was dead
Wow.
until I started breathing again.
Interesting.
And Les Stroud was adamant that this can't be possible. For the terrain that he had to go up at that age, the rocks
Sure.
alone was horrific just to climb up and do
Right.
that. So he was adamant about all these missing people around the country that are just, he's like, there could be possibility of a paranormal, supernatural, or
aliens. I was going to say,
you know, doing that.
And that brings up the point you mentioned. Why won't the government let anybody test any of this stuff? What's so private about this? Is it?
See, on that show at Crater Lake,
Uh-huh.
They were detecting a tiny bit of radiation, which sometimes in nature.
And you probably said that. Sorry.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
okay.
But on that show, they tried to, but then they asked. There's an island in the middle of Crater Lake.
Yeah, I saw one of those pictures.
They asked, can we get, hook up some of those meters to the thing and send a drone over there to kind of get close to it and everything? And they said, absolutely not.
Weird.
Absolutely not. Nothing will fly over in a state park. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's just a state park thing, but it was very adamant no there at Crater Lake.
That's interesting. Yeah, so, it just adds to the mystery, kind of like Area 51. You can't fly over it. You know, that whole mess. Roswell.
We should go out there with like 20 drones and just do one at a time, and just send them all out and see how fast they get shot down.
Oh my God! Well, it's a federal crime, man. What are you talking about?
We make Roth buy them.
You're supposed to have a member.
We're gonna put his name on it.
They're trying to restrict all that crap by making get a pilot license, which is dumb. It's a drone.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're breaking federal laws, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'm just saying. Holy crap. That's crazy. Now it just makes me wonder more, like, why? What's so special about it? What are they hiding? If they're hiding anything, or maybe it's just because, like you said,
why is it a crater? What crashed?
Well, see, there's a crater, and I think it's in Arizona. I want to say that's why I had to think twice about it, because when you were telling me about it, it's just an actual crater, but it's not filled in with water. It's just a.
Remember the movie Starman?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. Yep. God, it's old. Wow. But yeah, same thing, but it's not filled in with. What do you call it? You can visit that one.
Yeah. You can hike down into it and stuff like that, but Crater Lake, something different.
So what if
it's a huge lake.
So where'd the water come from? Is it when the impact of the crater hit, or
I don't know.
Did they flood it?
I think in the documentary it mentions that it was later filled in.
See, did they? I wonder how after. Since I'm just talking conspiracy theory here.
Right.
How soon after did they fill this lake in once the crater hit? Maybe it wasn't a crater. Maybe it was an aircraft or a UFO that crashed.
Well, I mean,
and they
I'm
filled
sure
it in.
we didn't do it. I mean, we probably weren't even around when it happened.
Right.
But
right.
What did we find? Maybe.
Right. Charles on the chat here said Crater Lake is known for UFO and Bigfoot sightings.
Yep.
Which
that
it always
again.
Are they related somehow? UFO?
No.
Bigfoot.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I mean, and then you start throwing the whole interdimensional thing out there again. Is it possible?
So here we go. I knew this was coming.
Like I said, I don't know what to. I don't know. I believe a little bit of both, actually. Because I mean, why can't we find these creatures? Why can't we find things? And whatnot.
Why are people going missing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? God, I don't know. That's crazy. And then now we shut down. Hey, people at home, be prepared when the podcast crashes here in a minute.
Sure.
Because every time we start talking about, and I'm not saying that anybody's monitoring. Who knows? Maybe they are monitoring us. We always get shut down for a brief second to stay with us, come back.
Always.
No, that's just crazy. I don't know what to make of that. That's interesting though. That even.
So let's go back to portals.
Yes.
Interdimensional.
Yep.
Do you believe that they're okay? So, just talking to people, or people will ask me, "Do I believe in portals?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I've never seen one."
Yeah, right. No. Can you see one?
Can you see one? I don't know. Have I ever ran across one? I don't know.
Yeah.
People say or claim, like in was it Lawrence, that hotel, supposedly in that one room, there's a portal in the corner of the room. I'm like, a portal to what, though?
That's just it. Is it to the...
Why do they think it's a portal?
Other side? Well, I think it's the feeling of things. I mean, because, we did have one case that you didn't get to go partake with, be part of, should I say. And it was just Jeremiah, myself, and one other person, and...
that night?
What?
Which night?
Just one night. We went to... It's up by...
Gotcha. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We'll just call it the Voodoo House.
It was a private home.
Yeah, private home, where we could feel. I mean, you go on this one corner of the place, and I didn't say anything to the lady at first. I just walked over there, and she goes, "Oh yeah, that's where it comes from." I'm like, you don't even know what I'm doing over here. Number one, I'm just getting a weird feeling because I mean, it's just a strong vibration kind of a thing where it just felt, and you step into this certain corner, and it's all of a sudden you felt really nauseous, like you're gonna, oh my god, I'm gonna lose everything I just had to eat, right here. I'm feeling dizzy. I'm feeling kind of just, I don't feel good, So I stepped out of it, and it's just like, I'm okay now. And so she had said that before I even had a chance to even talk about it. I said, hey Jeremiah, come here real quick. And I didn't tell him why. I said, just come here real quick. I just want you to feel this and experience this, kind of a thing. And sure enough, he felt the same thing. The vibrations and stuff, just kind of I don't know. Now, this is the house that, when I first got the call on this house, she just hit me up out of nowhere. I'm on Sunday afternoon. I'm mowing my grass out at my old house, and I get this phone call from a weird number. I don't know what, propelled me to answer the phone, but I went ahead and did it. And normally, if it's just a unusual number, I'll just let it go to voicemail, and if there's a voicemail, I'll call her back or call them back, whatever. But I answered the phone this day, and she was just telling me, I got all these things going on in my house, voodoo things. I think I'm getting cursed, whatever. I'm seeing these little people dancing, just all kinds of odd stories. I'm just like, I don't know what to think. I want to take your claim serious because I take all claims serious initially, until we can go in there and investigate. But, I still have my side of skepticism, But she was telling me, and she kept saying, when can you get out of here? I need you out here now, basically. I'm like, well, I can't just drop everything I'm doing, we do have full-time jobs,
Yeah.
And the more closer we got to trying to do this, something crazy would always happen where we just have to say, she'd have to cancel, we'd have to cancel. Something weird always happened. Finally, out of one day, and this is probably part of the reason why only 3 of us could go that day, we went to investigate this place, and this is the first time I've ever witnessed what I'm going to call ectoplasm in this place, where in the basement, yes, it is a basement, so take that with a grain of salt, on one particular wall, there was this, you could see this glistening of substance on the wall, like dripping from ceiling to floor. Okay, maybe a pipe, no. It was an empty room, nothing's in there, just other than a room that probably could be used as a bedroom or whatever.
Did you collect a sample?
No. But I don't remember if it was me or Jeremiah who touched it. We touched it, and I think I might have even touched it too, and it was like gelatinous in texture, and it was just like, what in the is this, But it's clear, so you can see it, but it's like somebody just threw a bunch of stuff on the wall, like splattered over the wall, and it just dripped. But it wasn't like running, it was just in place. And
did it smell?
I don't remember if I even smelled it or not, honestly, because I think I was just taken aback by all this. I'm like, what is this crap?
Right.
This is weird. It made no sense. I'm trying to remember what else. We basically. What's up, Casey? I think we all were just in awe of this, and she's like, I've never seen that before in my life. Like, she had no clue what that was. She's like, that's the first time I've ever seen this. And it was, and the thing is, this wall was in the center of the property. As center as you can get, everything was upstairs and around, kind of a thing. This was it wasn't a main support wall. It could have been for the basement, I guess, but it was a weird feeling down there too.
Right.
It's a basement, but the basement wasn't creepy. It was carpeted and could be lived in.
Right.
But that particular room was just odd, and I don't know why. Well, even if we wanted to collect a sample, and what could we collect? We didn't have any
I know.
test tubes. We didn't.
We need to. I was just thinking we need to
bags.
start doing that now.
Yeah. Casey. He put on there and he goes, Leo, does anything you do make sense, buddy? LOL. Not really. Sometimes the stuff we do and see, I'm like, I shouldn't be seeing this. I'm just a nobody from the middle of Kansas, basically. But yeah, well, we have seen a lot of weird stuff, man, over the years. But yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, going back to that, if I ever experienced a portal, that's probably as close as I could get, a vortex of sorts upstairs in that room. Upstairs it's the main living room too, in between the kitchen and the would be a dining room, living room kind of slash thing. And I don't know, but she moved out of there. She's gone out of the house now, so it's like we can never get back into that place. And
Go figure.
Well, it's not in the best part of town too, so I don't want to just go knocking on doors, because that doesn't mean nothing anything. But as soon as we were there, we start walking up and the cops pull up. We're like, oh crap, what's going on? And next door, the cops are showing up. It's like I said, it wasn't in the best part of town, and it's not the worst part of town by any means. It's just it was just something that we went there to help this client, and to this day I haven't been able to give her evidence. She just like disappeared basically. Oh, you're
Wow.
fine. I don't know what happened to her. I've reached out to her, can't get it. And we caught some weird stuff that makes no sense. Sounds, voices, pictures. To you
I don't
name it.
even think I've seen or heard everything.
We went over it
from her.
one day, and I think you might not have been there. It was
Yeah.
all of us went over it one day. We sat
think
down at
so.
Roast Basement,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
yeah, went over evidence and stuff. And because I had stuff I questioned. I'm like, you tell me what you think this is, because I don't know. And people came up with some interesting things, and I would love to find out if I could give her the evidence. Not that hopefully she's fine. Obviously, she's never contacted me. She has my number.
Yeah.
And I've left her voicemails and
That's
stuff.
kind of on them.
Yeah.
I hate it when people disappear. They want our help. We go in, we do it, we find it, and then we can't ever get
Yeah.
back in touch with them.
It was very, like I said, odd, because even that one, when she first started contacting me and we could never get out there, her sister doesn't even live in Wichita or anywhere we were at, was contacting me. He's like, how soon can you get out there and help her? She needs help. I'm like, we're trying. We're trying. I think at the time we even had a couple cases lined up too that we were just as pressing as that one,
Yeah.
Well, at the time I didn't know how pressing it was, but still, we gotta, we can't just push somebody off unless, people are seeing things, demons and whatever else,
Unless they're getting physically hurt.
Yeah,
and
kids
stuff like
especially,
that,
we take them on priority, so.
Yeah.
But, so that may have had a portal, maybe that was the original point.
Okay, so what do you think a portal is? And where is it going? Do you think it's always to hell or always
No.
to something evil that
It's
a
not
lot
like
of people
it's not like
always
Stargate, like somebody I think Charles said Stargate, which
Yeah,
that's a good movie too.
I love that
I
movie.
do too. But in theory, I guess it could be like Stargate, where it's a way for things to walk through from. You always hear that it's kind of like a highway where people, from paranormal, it's just something they pass through back and forth to go to wherever they're going, whether it be to another location, whether it be to an underworld, whether it be to whatever, I think
upside down.
Yeah, exactly. It could be one of those things.
Yeah.
To me, that's what the thing I always thought was a portal would meant, is it's just a way for them to pass through dimensions or whatever,
Dimensions.
or through things,
Do you
whatever.
think it is to hell or to heaven?
Not
Or
necessarily. It's to wherever it needs to go. It could be another side of the country, or the other side of the world, or another planet. I don't know. I don't honestly know.
do you think at some point people go missing through that?
Possibly.
It shoots them off to somewhere else?
Well, see, and this is what I were talking about earlier when we were discussing some things. It's ironic that you even brought this topic up to me earlier, because I was like, that's odd. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I was watching an old episode of Ghost Hunters with the original Ghost Hunters with Jason and Grant, the one that was more authentic, and not that they're bad now. It's just they've been there for over 10 years, doing all this stuff, and they're more polished now, and production wise and everything.
Right.
This particular episode happened to deal with the Queen Mary out in Long Beach, California, and that ship is notorious for the what do you call it? Stop yawning.
Sorry. It's been a long day.
I know it has. This place is notorious for the swimming pool area and the bathrooms, where they have a vortex or portal that's been reported, and it's been reported from the people that own it, or the people that run the ship, to paranormal groups have gone in there. They've always go to the same location in the bathrooms, or like with the changing rooms, shower rooms, whatever it's what it's called.
Well, if you're going to have a vortex, the shower is the best place, right?
And they always had this little girl with it too for some reason.
Right.
They've heard her, and people have caught her voice, seen her, pictures, whatever.
My first time ever hearing about the Queen Mary and the haunting in the pool and everything was on the
Yep. I know what you're going to say. Same here.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, see, I saw it on. Was that with, what's his name? The guy that's passed away?
Yeah, Robert Stack.
No, not him. The fame. No, I saw it on a.
I saw it with Robert Stack when he had the trench coat and the original. This is back when I was a little kid, and I always loved the Queen Mary because it looks, exactly like the Titanic and everything. So when I saw the episode you've got the pool area, you got the escalator over by the maintenance, engineering room and everything, because one of the workers fell and was killed and crushed in the gears and everything.
Right.
So they see him on the escalator, supposedly. This is just what I remember from as a little kid watching Unsolved Mysteries. So
I can't remember what the show was. It was a guy that everybody in the paranormal field knows him. but he's dead. He's been dead for years.
Oh.
He's gray haired, kind of had a beard. I can't think of his name, but I was trying to find it real quick on here. He's been dead for I don't know how many years now.
Yeah.
And
well, Robert Stack's gone too.
Well, that's true too. But he had this show, and he's the one that investigated there. One of the first people to ever investigate there, and
Very cool.
he was talking about this portal and everything. And then ever since then, it's been kind of known. I think maybe because of him or whatever, or because of the fact he got to go in and film this. I'm trying to find who he is, but yeah, the thing on the episode, it was happened to be Steve Gonzalez. That's his name. He was down in there, and they were already having some doubts about some of the claims, because of some things they experienced, or they could just disprove some of the stuff. But
Right.
He went in that particular area, and he was walking through, and he's like, you see him on camera get kind of dizzy. He's like, whoa. And he grabs his head like, oh man, I don't, it's just off balance kind of a thing. He at the time, this is how old it was. It was Donna. You remember her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is how old it was. He told her, come here, Donna, real quick, I want you to... By the time she came over there, it was gone. And then he could never find it again, which brings the question is, does this thing always exist, or is it like a kind of
Just
a
opens.
roaming door, like a Stargate, where it closes, and once it's closed, you're out, you're done, whatever kind of a thing.
Or what if you're walking through an actual spirit that's manifesting right there, and
That
you
could
walk
be
through
too.
it?
That could be too. I
Or
mean,
the spirit went into him and hit him.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, it's bizarre. Now, granted, he was on a ship, but then he should have been feeling this way the whole time, because the ship is still, you can still
Right.
feel the rocking. It's stationary. It's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. I've been to it once. I never got to go into the actual
Mm.
ship. We went on the outside of it. We got there like at, I want to say like 5:30 or something, maybe 5:40, and they close at a certain time to the public. Like, you can go all day and go up there at certain times and walk through, and tour the
Yeah.
things and stuff like that. But at 6 o'clock, I want to say, I may be wrong on the times, but at 6 o'clock, it shuts down, and only people that have reservations are allowed on the ship. So we had like 10, 15 minutes. It's like, is it really worth paying to get in there and go mess around and look? Was with my family, whatever, and we're like, nah, we just happen to hang out there. And
Get stowaway on there and just kind of hide and then have the whole night there.
And see,
you know?
this is when I was younger, before I even was really hardcore into the paranormal, so I
Yeah.
didn't really know it was haunted and stuff like that. Because I knew we were out there, and well, that's in Long Beach, but I knew about the Winchester Mystery House in San Francisco,
Oh, yeah,
so
that
or
too.
out Northern California. But that always intrigued me. I wanted to go visit, but never have. But yeah, so I didn't get a chance to really dive into that at the time, or so if I known, heck yeah, I would have went and checked it out.
That and Winchester House has stories of possible, portals
Vortexes and stuff like that.
vortexes and
Yeah.
all kinds of weird feelings
Mhm.
inside there. But it's also, it changes. It plays with your mind too, given how it was built, and hallways that lead to nowhere, staircases that lead to nowhere, and just all that. What if it's just your mind playing tricks on you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
One of our viewers, Charles, he said, "Have you ever read the Necroscope series?" I've never read it. Renee said she's never read it either. He said it has to deal with portals between a vampire world. It covers necromancing or necromancers, vampires, werewolves, stuff like that. I've never read that.
No.
No, but now I'm curious to see what it has to say, because
Is it just a fantasy book story, or is that?
I don't know. He didn't say yet, but he's watching. So let's see. I don't know if it is, because that brings us to the next topic. Are those things real? I mean,
Oh, well, let me get into
Nope, don't do
another.
it.
Sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
Nope. So people at work and everything are they're slowly finding out more and more about me and what I do.
Right.
There's a few handful of people that already did, but
Sure.
more people that are curious and starting to ask me questions and everything like that. They are just adamant that they believe in ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
but none of them are human.
Ghosts aren't human.
Yeah, they're absolutely non-human. And I've been told this by 2 or 3 people now.
How so? Before I end, I mean, like
That they just do not
They mean like they're demons, that realm, or just because they're? Well, because if you think about it, ghosts aren't really humans; they're spirits and energies.
Well, they don't think
possibly.
that they were ever
Oh,
human.
okay, that's what I was asking.
So yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
like I passed away. Well,
Sure.
that spirit that you're talking to is not me.
Right. I
You
got
know?
you.
And they're like,
I've
well,
heard that theory before too, though.
And I'm like, And they're like, well, because your soul either goes one way or the other.
Sure.
I'm like, well, that's only if you believe just that.
Yep.
You know, so
Good old religion.
you know,
Yep.
you got the religion part of it.
Right.
If you believe that, then I'm sure. But you know, I'm not going to change your mind on it
Right.
because you're adamant about that.
Yep.
But if you take the religion out of it and you're just dealing with it the way we do, we don't know.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we're talking to the person that, you know, especially if they're answering the correct questions or they give us their name.
Right.
You know, we've ran into an individual that said their own name
Yep,
and
full
talked
name.
to us. Voice sounds just like them and everything.
Yep.
And
Multiple
they're
times.
saying hi to us and
Right.
everything. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep. We ran into famous people that
Yeah.
are easy to their voices sound exactly like what we captured. We ran into people that are personal and near and dear to us that that we same thing.
Yep.
Now, are we saying it is or isn't? Who knows? I mean, who could ever really know?
Well, everyone's saying, well, why don't they go? Why don't they pass on? And I'm like, again, you're just believing what you've read in one little book.
Right.
What if the idea of passing on isn't the same of what we are being told?
Exactly.
You know?
I mean,
What if passing on, what if you have a choice? You can
sure.
go to the Golden Gates, you
Right.
know, or, you know, not.
Or what if it's like the movie Ghost, where you have unfinished business?
Unfinished business,
I mean,
yeah.
even though it's fictional, it's the same kind of concept. What if
What if you
good or
ha-
bad? I mean,
Yeah. What if you you can choose to stick around and enjoy being around your loved ones and
Sure.
stuff before you choose to be reborn again?
right. Well,
There's that.
I've even thrown out to those people that talk like that. Well, keeping it religious. What if it's your guardian angel? What if
Could
they're
be.
supposed to be because they were that important to you in life? Maybe they're just out here looking for you. Think about it in terms of that. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be scary, haunting, white sheet Halloweenish. I mean, it can be just maybe it's just that. Maybe it's not the actual physical being, whatever, and they just can project, like astral project or whatever, kind of that thing. Maybe it's just the energy.
Right.
I mean, if it's their soul, I don't know if you believe in that angle, or if it's
Right.
just energy they've created. I mean, all things, if you believe physics, all things create energy basically. So, what if it was just that?
And I know that there's people that have special gifts
Yeah,
who
Santa Claus. Sorry.
there's people with special gifts that are either can sense it, see it,
They're just in
or they're being told by a spirit
spirit guide too.
spirit guide
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But again, you're only seeing or believing what you're either being told
Mm-hmm.
or what you think and what you're interpreting.
Right.
You can go for years trying to figure out your answers, to it and everything. But still, that's kind of like a battle between yourself and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
How are we, the rest of us, supposed to understand or believe? Because me, I'm
Who
thinking
knows?
like, well, no one's talking to me, and I'm not saying, well, I don't have that gift, or I
Right.
just don't have a spirit that likes me enough. you know.
Well, I mean, a lot of it has to be you got to be what's called in tune with it. I
Yeah.
mean, in tune with your surroundings. Like I would try to explain to you,
Yeah.
day in and day out how I can hear some stuff, and it's just I'm always listening, like, and with my eyes open and stuff, and my ears open. Like when we're talking right now, I can hear what's going on around us right now. When I've proven that.
I can't. I just have you in my head right now.
Yeah, but I can still hear the things. The best time I ever did this, I freaked my oldest son out one day. We were discussing this very topic, kind of a thing, and I was just sitting there talking, and we were out in this house here, and it was out in the front yard, matter of fact, and I go, yeah, I'm in, same thing. I'm just in tune with everything. I'm talking to you. I'm focused on what you're saying. I'm answering every question. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Right.
But by the way, I can hear that car coming down the street, and then all of a sudden you hear this car clear out of nowhere, just come slowly and start coming. He just looked at me like, holy crap, how did you even hear that? I didn't notice until it was on us. I mean, it's just you got to
It's got your spidey senses.
you got to be in tune with things.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's how I do it on investigation. That's when we first go in there. I'm listening to the clients. I'm talking to them, whether it be a private, public investigation, no matter what. I'm always interacting, but I'm also listening behind me. Hey, there's a voice right here. Just talk to us, kind of a thing, or that boom right there, that nobody heard, kind of a thing. But
I'm always the opposite. I'm looking at where are we putting the cameras? Is this going to work? How long should we be in here? Where's the best spot? And stuff like that. And I don't pay attention. But
right.
then going back to other things, so the photograph you caught of what looks like a little boy at the
Mm-hmm.
top of the stairs. That's part of our intro.
Right.
And everything. I've shown pictures. You know, I blew it up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I handed out at our events, and people
Sure.
look at it. But I've been showing people at work and everything, and they're just adamant that that's not human. I'm like, why?
Why isn't it?
Why?
What makes it not human?
I don't
It
know.
looks like a little child sitting on the staircase.
it
Then you
sure as hell does.
It's transparent. That
Yeah.
wasn't doctored, wasn't altered. I'll take it to any photographer, you know, like anywhere that can prove one way or another it's never been doctored or altered,
Right.
and just let them prove it.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
If I knew where to send it to, I will. I mean, but
The thing in the rafters too.
same thing, yeah. I mean, this stuff that we were fortunate enough to capture on tangible things like video or, you know, still photos that,
And the crazy thing about both figures, caught on camera,
Mhm.
and their eyes are glowing,
mm-hmm,
which is weird. But
right.
still,
Well, see, the only thing I don't know about it glowing on that one, it looks like it's glowing, but I can't tell if it's because we have a laser grid going too, remember?
we do.
At the same time,
we do.
if it just
but
positioned
nothing
perfectly. But it
'cause
is by the eyes.
by the eyes,
I
and
can find that.
none of the.
I gotta start carrying that. I don't even know where the hell I got that from. I mean, I
well,
know it's ours.
I've got it. I can send it to you.
Yeah, we need to start posting when we talk about stuff like that. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. 'Cause I obviously got it. And
You want me to
put
send it to you? And,
if you want to.
well,
I think it's on my phone, but
yeah.
if you keep talking about it.
Oh
so-
yeah, I've got
so-
it. So they
I'm burping over here. Excuse me. I apologize, people at home. That's
they
very good for public for podcasting.
That's okay. They're just so when you look at it and here, and I'm gonna try and find it for
Go ahead.
him so we
You're
can
fine.
do that. Got it right here. Where do you want me to send it?
Just put it out there on what do you call it? The messenger thing. I can pull it
Line?
off of there. Yeah, that's fine.
So okay, so when you guys see this, so the grid lights are scattered way too far apart. They don't match up with where the eyes are. So it's not going to be the grid lights at all.
Trying to see if I can. Oops, I just did something stupid. Well,
Okay.
I have a picture
I'm going to step away for just a second.
without. This is without the actual grid lights. Oops, hang on. So, like what Jason's saying, this was caught down, and some of you were just down there at the Dodge City Depot. This was caught on the second floor, second actual floor staircase. Oh goodness, I'm tired. Sorry, I apologize, people at home. I'm trying to get this pulled up and talk at the same time. It's like chewing gum and rubbing your stomach, right? Dang. Here we go. Sorry. Oh, I lied. Jason just walked out. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what that noise was. But I was trying to find this picture. Now it's disappearing. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, I send it to you.
Well, I'm trying to find the one I had just right now because it shows the picture prior,
Prior to
kind
that
of
one.
prior to where it's just Oh, here we go. I found it.
Sorry, folks. Every time I try to send something down here, I lose all signal. So I always have to step outside to send something to
So-
Leo.
Let me get this up here. So, and I'll get our mugs out of the way here 1 second, and I will put this up here so people at home. So you can kind of see what I'm saying. It's coming on. It's showing up right now. On your screen here, you'll see this is the staircase I'm talking about. You can see the white dots
Mhm.
of where our laser grid is. We always point them up that direction. And yeah, people at home calling it the Elizabeth staircase. It's because we caught the name Elizabeth there the first time we were ever there. Back in 2011, I think it was when it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
2011, 2012. Yeah, 2011 is when it was. Give me a second. I got to do something special to get a line pulled up.
It's an interesting spot for all of our investigations. Every time we go to the depot, that's usually the hot spot for most of the night. You know, it's either going to be really, really active, or she's gone. You know, from up there most of the time.
Well, she does wander. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, and that's when we have more interactions with her, maybe down in the basement, possibly, or other spirits that are there tend to come out of the woodwork especially down in the theater. The theater is starting to become more active
Right.
than when we first ever started going there together.
Yeah.
I remember back then, never really caught anything in the theater area, but now, shoot, there's all kinds of stuff happening up there. And it's not even, it's nothing that we can actually make out. It's voices through the box, it's calling out our names, it's walking on the catwalk really heavy. Renee and Jake actually heard the heavy boots up on the catwalk above them when they were in there by themselves, and nobody was up there. I mean, the place just changes all the time.
Right.
With it, so.
So let me get this other one pulled up here. Yeah, 'cause I remember like when we first went there, it seemed like one of my least favorite part was the theater. Other than the shadow play, I was like, I don't hear anything. I mean, we heard the whistling, which was cool, because it was very interactive. But one of the times you and I were there, we had so much interaction with this thing that the swears up and down. And, I mean, it sounded like, to me, it could have been Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. So, I mean, that's what it kept telling us, different times. So, all right, here we go. So this is the infamous photo Jason's talking about. So you can see the laser grid, but you can see the two glowing things, which would be eyes, I guess. But for it to be proportional as far as the laser grids happen to be side by side, those two little dots,
it just makes
very
sense.
highly,
Yeah.
especially when you can see the rest of the dots they're so spread out.
Yeah.
But these are, and then it'll be right on their eyes, where the eyes should be.
Right in the eyes. You can see where a nose kind of is, whether it's like a skull type thing, but you can see the legs, you can see the arms and the hands. They're kind of cradling their knees and everything there. So
do you think it's a girl or a guy?
I don't know. To me, just looking at it,
I can see both.
I just had the feeling it's male.
Well, then I thought that, but then if you look out to the left, would it be their left side by the staircase that goes up?
Yeah.
There's like a little flare out, like a hair flip thing. Looks kind of like a bob cut.
Well, I can't tell if that's actually part of it, or is that one of the grid lights behind the head.
I'm talking about that area right there.
Yeah, right
See,
there.
I don't know, because then.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though,
it could be hair. It could.
You
be.
can't see through it though, like you can.
Right.
Well, I mean,
very true.
Well, you can't, because right behind it is that dark wood.
Yeah.
That encases the whole staircase.
Right.
So. I mean, that is the little girl. That's what the area we first encountered.
It is, but they're starting to say that we're getting a male presence up there too, and if he's curious about us but not saying anything,
Yeah. Let me put these side by side for people that they can kind of get an idea what the layout of this thing looks like. Oops, I keep grabbing the wrong picture off the camera. And there we go. We'll just put them side by side. There we go.
That's pretty damn cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, just fortunate that we captured this.
You captured that.
Yeah, just fortunate. I want to say it's off the one on the left. Well, I don't even know.
I think it was just your phone.
It was cell phone, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. You heard that, right?
I heard that.
I don't know if you can hear it, people at home. We just heard something high pitched in our headphones in studio. So I don't know if it went through the output.
I don't know.
It's like something like singing in a way, or like a woo.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
So go figure. Here we go again with the talking of stuff, and next thing you know, things happen, which I'm okay with. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do viewers think? I mean, some viewers are saying stuff at home. Let's see here. David Metzler says, it appears as though she is around the corner where the grid wouldn't even hit her. That's kind of not a bad observation.
Very true.
Because you don't see it on the body part.
Yeah. You don't really know how far back she is.
You just see it on the eyes. I mean,
yeah.
But once again, what are the odds of those eyes being
they're just
lit up too close? Yeah,
they're just too close.
And they're perfect.
They're perfectly in the head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And he, it, whatever, Golem, whatever, is looking right back at us.
Yeah. Now see, Carl, who's there and knows the place inside out, he says that's Wyatt, a.k.a. John Henry. So maybe it is a boy. I mean.
Yeah. Jake is very adamant that it's a boy too.
Yeah.
I I think Dan is too. Dan's adamant that it's a male. So.
Oh, they did hear that at home. The little singer Renee said it, she goes, "Oh, I heard that. It almost sounded like electronics for Halloween," and it did. It
It's
sounded
perfect
too
timing,
fake
I
and
know.
perfect. That's hilarious. It came through the mics. Okay,
so we're like from Friday night we were having some weird,
very true.
very weird things reminiscent of our 50th episode that we did when we were all hearing a female talking through our walkies at the shop.
Right.
Well, Friday night when we were investigating this huge complex that we were at, we had 3 walkies going, and 2 walkies would ping with static where the other one was doing nothing, and
Right.
all 3 on the same channel.
Yep.
And then a female voice started coming through,
Right.
and she was saying hello,
Or help, possibly
help,
at different
and then
times.
at one point she said help me.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's
So,
my
I don't
take on
know.
that too. We had the same thing happen, like you said, on the 50th episode.
Yep.
Didn't go through the airwaves like this one just did,
Right.
which was ironic.
I should bring a walkie and sit it in here now.
I have. Oh, it's upstairs. I say
Yeah.
I have them sitting in a bag. It's mine. What I was going to say was they. When I talk about a walkie, yes, it's possible to get outside interference from a cell phone, from another walkie.
Right.
We
But
didn't.
why wouldn't
Hold on.
3? Okay.
Hold on. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
You go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Nope.
'Cause it's gonna
Nope,
answer
you-
my.
you-
Well, there's more to it. Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Well, okay, so all 3 walkies, we were standing
Yeah.
very close to each other.
Right.
I'd pick mine up by just the antenna and hold it up,
Right.
and I wasn't hearing anything.
Yep. it
And
was-
then yours.
Right. I didn't have one.
Okay.
Jake
so
and Ruth had
Jake
them.
and Ruth.
Uh-huh.
They're just like holding theirs, and she's talking.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, mine would like ping and
Do some
start
kind of
talking
weird.
and some weird thing, and then I'd hear her.
Yeah. What I was going to say, that's part of it. What I was going to say was, it's easy to do all that stuff I just mentioned about with the cell phone, with, another two-way walkie within distance, whatever. But
Right.
a couple things. They would have to know we were there doing specific that, and
Right.
nobody knew other than the main group knew that we were there. So
Right.
unless they set us up, that's one thing.
And the fact that they were legitimately shocked and stunned by this.
Uh-huh. Second thing was, and I'm talking about the place Friday night. You're talking about
Right.
too? Okay, good.
Yeah.
The thing was, and this is where it gets really interesting to me, and maybe it's just me. I remember at one point, because I tested that theory, because it would only do it at certain times and it would just stop. I'm like, okay, nothing's happening. Out in the nowhere, and I don't remember if you were in the room or not. I want to say you were, but maybe not. But I distinctly asked, when I was asking the questions, if show yourself, do your thing, whatever, before I got touched and all that stuff. So you might not have been there yet. I said, can you say hello through this? To the air, not to the walkie. And it wasn't depressed. It wasn't, nobody had their walkie on. Other than it was on. If somebody radioed in, then you could.
Right.
As soon as I said, can you say hello to us through this, just anything, through the walkie, whatever, the thing kicked on. She said hello again. Through the walkie, not in thin air, the walkie kicked on. So how can you explain that one? You can't. Because unless there was a girl there, which there wasn't. Well, I mean, Ruth was there, but I'm just kidding. I love Ruth. Unless there was a girl there that knew we were there or in the room with us,
But
she would have had to.
She would have
Speak
had
up.
to have some kind of equipment with her to
Right.
actually do the same thing and
Right.
ping into our equipment.
And why would she go to the trouble of saying, okay, I'm going to. Well, I did ask, I guess, but still. I asked to the air, not through a walkie, 'cause I didn't have one. You guys had them.
We would have heard somebody in the distance maybe trying. We would have seen somebody there
Right.
doing everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to that recording and the cameras and stuff and try to find that moment. Not tonight, of course, because we ran 4 cameras and I don't know how many we all had recorders, and I had
Yeah.
2 cameras going on my handhelds, and then we had 2 cameras everywhere. So we had cameras.
And I
galore.
had a recorder on the counter
Uh-huh.
on the railing
Right.
right when everything was happening with the radio, so I caught all that.
Yeah. It's just we got to go back and pinpoint that stuff and listen to it, and
Yeah.
we'll get something going. Hopefully, if the owners let us talk about it and go through it. But yeah, it was the fact that out of nowhere, I say, if you're here, and it wasn't happening up to that point. I mean, it happened earlier, but it wasn't like continuously. It was just
Right.
sporadically, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, I asked that question throughout to thin air, and she responds through the walkie, "Hello." I'm like, okay, that's freaking crazy. I mean, I've seen a lot of weird shit, like I said earlier, and that totally is one for the record book. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But Just craziness, man. I mean, this is what, and it's been so long since we got to go about a couple weeks ago and do some filming and some minor stuff, and we had some weird stuff happen that night too. It just feeds my hunger again because we haven't had a chance to go out and do investigations. Now we have back to back two small ones, kind of they're not small, but two back to back ones, and we've had nothing but fantastic experiences and some evidence we've caught, and it's just holy crap. I mean, we're very fortunate to be able to do this, and I'm ready to go take on the world again because it's like, man.
I'm ready, and I hope you never lose that feeling.
Oh, I won't. It's just sometimes we go through those lulls where it becomes more like a job, and we don't get to really appreciate and dive into things. And now we hit that little layover. It's like now we can come back in full force.
Well, I love all the big events that we do, but
Me too.
It becomes very hard.
Becomes, like I said, a big event where you just have to focus on. I know you especially like to focus on the. Okay, is the whatever this happening right? This time frame, blah blah blah, keeping things most
entertaining.
You don't get to really dive into the investigative side or soak it up. Yeah,
I'm watching everybody that's there. So
yeah, but no. So hopefully we'll get those evidence out there once we get a chance to go and show the owners, and then we'll bring it to you guys because it's stuff you definitely don't want to miss because there was some crazy stuff going on that night. And one of the things we experienced, what you guys had to experience was. Well, Jake and Jason went down this long hallway that we weren't investigating when it just had red light, and it was the light from the exit sign, but it was a long, drawn hallway that had enough red light that it fed the whole hallway, basically.
I just happened to go down it myself and thought, well, okay, this is kind of cool. So it was behind where we were focusing on, so I went down the hallway, and then Jake found me. He radioed and said, "Where are you?" So he found me, and so we went walking down a couple times.
Yeah, and I went by once by myself, and you guys met up with me afterwards.
So I remember going down that hallway, and there's different offices all the way down.
Right.
And what was weird is that at the down by the red light, the exit sign, could have sworn I saw an actual figure down there that turned and walked.
I'd agree.
And I was like, well, that's cool, so I'm going to go there, you know? So we started walking down there, and it was on our second time down there that Jake and I went and we stopped.
Right.
And we're talking about things, and all of a sudden a radio kicked on, full music, and it was loud.
Right.
Coming from the office, just right in front of where we were standing.
Right.
And he's just like, where the hell does that come from, you know? So we turn around and we're looking in, you know, we look like, you know, we're flashlights into the, you know, and everything, and there's a radio, and then it just like the volume just lowered.
That's what's weird because you guys were saying that, so I come walking down the hall shortly after that, and I'm like, I don't hear anything, guys. But then you guys put your ear to the door, and I put my ear to the door, and sure enough, you could hear the music playing through there. But it wasn't loud like you guys mentioned.
It was loud, and we were trying to get your all's attention. Hey, there's loud music down here, but you guys had stuff going on down there too. Right. And so it was like, no, come on, no, seriously, down here. But
it's one thing for a radio kick on because it's easy if you had an alarm on there or something on an old alarm clock or something. But the fact that it got turned down,
it was blasting. I mean, it startled both of us.
Right. Yeah. And it's the same area where I saw like a shadow person too. That's why I had gone down there too. You guys had just came back and said you saw something. And I was like, I want to go see. So I went down there and looked, and sure enough, I went down there. You know, I heard you, Jake, and you guys coming behind me. Then you like stopped. Jake's like, let him do your thing, his thing down there first, or somebody did. You did or something. Yeah. And well, then he came down and you went back. And as we were walking back, I got the feeling of something coming up behind me, so I turned around and kept looking behind me, and sure enough, I saw a black mass in the corner, like kind of peek his head out and then put back. Like, that's weird. And Jake noticed me doing it. He's like, yeah, we were walking down here, you know, and he started telling me some things. As we walked back, I felt it again, so I turned back, and in between each door, there's dark wood in between each door. There's a door frame, the outside of the wood, door jamb is dark. There's a white wall in between each door. I saw the thing hit the white wall, little low to the ground, black as can be shadow, going between that wall and then duck into the door frame, which the door frame is what, 3 inches?
Yeah.
And it's a shut locked door, and this thing just dove into it, whatever. I'm like, holy crap! And that's when Jake saw me, and he's like, oh yeah, we saw that. We just had this weird feeling that something was following us. So I looked back. He said this earlier, and the first time you guys were down there, he said I saw this shadow low to the ground following us. I'm like, what the hell? That's exactly what I just saw. So we were discussing that. And then I started thinking back to what the owner had told us initially is he said the same thing. He would come in and bring his dog in. And he's a big Great Dane.
Right.
He would come in and he'd bring him in, and the dog just sits there at his feet, kind of a thing. Well, some of the guys that work with him would come in and oh, hey, what's up? Pet the dog. And then one day he came in by himself, and the people in the office is like, oh, you brought your dog again, huh, today? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, we just saw a black shadow come into one of our offices, kind of come in and look at us and then walk back out. It's your dog, right? I can't remember the dog's name. And he's like, my dog.
Tater.
Oh, that's right, Tater. How could I forget
Tater.
that? Yeah, he goes, I didn't bring it, Tater, today. And they're like, what? Well, we could have sworn we saw a dog. Well, this is the same thing we saw that night, possibly, outside the area where he was talking about.
So you guys saw that. I didn't.
Yeah, Jake said I saw it, same thing, too.
Of course I I did see a figure down at the back of the hallway, though.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, it was just a fun, entertaining night.
It was.
All the way around.
Yeah.
The touching of me, getting touched by what felt like an
I didn't touch him. He touched himself.
ice cube. It was like I said, it was cold.
Well, Roth got jabbed.
Yeah, after that, you got jabbed
because he
too,
was talking and he was asking questions. He was kind of getting a little forceful. And then he said he felt like something.
I saw him. He jumped like 20 feet in the air.
I heard him. Yeah, I didn't see him, but he flipped out. He said he felt like something run their hand down his arm and then just jabbed him right in the ribs. Just like all fingers jabbed it.
I'll have to go back and see if I can see that on camera because
it should be right on that camera that was up on the staircase.
Yeah. So hopefully we caught that too. Yeah. But we did capture the thing that came up from behind me. So hopefully it's one of the same thing or who knows something else. But it was just an eventful night. I can't wait to go.
Every time Roth jumps, we should take this and splash it on him.
That's the holy water Jason grabbed, which is, by the way, real holy water.
Yes.
So just so you know. But
it may not be. I touched it. So.
So no, it was just a fun night. I can't wait to go back. And the thing was, you and I walked out of there when we were wrapping up. Remember, and we came around the corner, and I looked over, and there's an elevator sign, kind of hanging partially off of that. I'm like, that's weird. I would have noticed this because it's a bright, like a maroonish white letter sign. All
night it was perfectly on the wall.
And I'm like, that's weird. It must. Who knows? I wouldn't, and the owner would have saw. He would have said something too. I'm gonna put it back up, anyways. So I hung it back up. We went upstairs, got the cameras, hung out for a little longer, came back, and it was fine. Went home.
Right.
The next morning, the owner took his daughter in there, and younger daughter, and was there, and she had to go to the bathroom. The women's restroom was right outside that sign. So he, opened the door for her, and he walked out towards the middle lobby where this sign was, and he starts snapping pictures for Roth, and he's like, holy crap, I came in here, and the sign's laying on the floor completely.
Oh, wow.
You haven't noticed it? You haven't seen this yet?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, the sign's on the floor, ripped off completely, like somebody just came through, and the thing about this sign, and it had these big, long pieces of Velcro.
Yeah,
it wasn't like this.
Was it sticky or was it Velcro?
Both.
Both? Okay.
Yeah, because I had to, when I put it up there, I was like, oh, man, because I had to, kind of adjust it. I had to, kind of forcefully put it back up there because it was already adheres to it or whatever, and strong. And he sent pictures to Roth of it, and they're real long strips. I mean, like this, probably like a foot long.
Yeah,
and
I could see them from just underneath from the angle I saw. Yeah.
And this thing got ripped off the ground, or the thing again. They thought it happened because he told Roth, he's like, maybe we left a little too early. Because he thought it happened when I got touched. But we would have noticed that.
Right.
Because we were out there after that, shortly after.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't there, to my knowledge.
It wasn't on the ground. It was up on the wall.
Well, he meant, and he didn't know that that you and I had experienced something similar, but it was only, we saw like a corner of it ripped off.
It was just kind of pointed downward,
it wasn't that bad.
Like it was pointing arrows down.
Yeah. And that was just bizarre. The fact that this thing got ripped off, it's just like, interesting. Now,
and the voice is up on the second floor, down that hallway.
Now, could it have been something natural, just coming loose? Of course, not everything's paranormal, but it was just bizarre that it happened twice within. We left there almost 2:00, so it probably would have been 8 in the morning. So a matter of 6 hours at some point. So I went back and watched the video, and I forgot you turned that camera down the hallway. Remember? You put it on the red hallway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe we can see the point of this thing getting moved.
Damn it!
And I'm like, oh crap. So who knows, paranormal or not?
I should have moved it back. I should have.
That's all right. So we got a little over 30 minutes left. We talked about portals tonight. We touched upon religion and disappearing and things like that. I kind of want to spend the last 30 minutes just going through some things. I wish the boys were here, Dan and them guys, because they love this stuff, and especially when it comes to videos.
Oh, we'll always have more.
Yeah. This is something I put together tonight.
Sweet.
And I touched upon it earlier.
Hey, we're going till midnight. So.
That's true. We got almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
If you come on an investigation with us, especially, well, not even private one, if it's at your house, you tell me there's a doll there. The first thing I'm going to always try to do is get this thing to move. I've been cussed at by other team members. Don't you freaking dare make that thing move. I'm like, well, what fun is that? One of my first investigations was at the salon here in Wichita, the one that's been on TV, not our TV show, but anyways, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They had this doll in the basement, and one of the things is this doll was supposedly known it was supposed to be haunted and was bought that way. They bought it for that purpose, and they kept it in the basement with a bunch of bikers stayed for some reason. I don't know why, if it was whatever. And when we were there that night, it was in the closet, tucked away in the back. We brought it out and put it on a chair.
The current owners collected haunted stuff.
That too, yeah. So. But we had it out on this folding chair, and I remember it was Clara, myself, and Renee were down in that basement, and I'm like.
Same night that I first met Leo.
You're right. Renee's like, no.
And
creepy
Leo
dolls.
And Renee.
Yep. So we're in the pitch black down there, and Claire's freaking out, so she's still kind of skittish. And Renee and I was our first investigation with the team. We weren't even part of the team yet. She puts the flashlight on, so I was like, if you're here with us, or you're supposedly possessed, move that doll. Make that doll move. And Claire's like, God damn it, Leo, it better not freaking move. She's just cussing me out. I'm like, what? It's haunted, supposedly. So this last portion of the show, guess what it's going to be about? Cuss words. No, I'm kidding. It's about creepy dolls. I want to know everybody's take on these things. I found videos. Some of them are famous. You've probably seen, I've seen that before. Some of them may be debunked. Some may not be.
Some are awesome to watch.
Yeah. So we're gonna play some videos, some dolls. I want to see what everybody.
I hope Corey can get her daughter to watch this. Oh, I should just send it to her.
Go ahead.
She hates dolls.
Oh. So I found a bunch of videos of dolls that I've got together here. I'm going to start queuing them up here, and we can have some fun. Let me get us. Sorry, behind the scenes. Let me do something real quick
here.
The
next 4.5 hours, dolls.
That's right. Enjoy yourself. I won't play some of the there's some famous ones we talked about, because there's one episode we played back in the days. I want to say it's like episode 6 or 10 or 12 or something. It's a doll that you're not supposed to even look at because it can kill you, supposedly.
I think it was it was a little further into our podcast times and stuff. So we were still doing everything from the shop, not here at a personal studio. So. And
as soon as I did that, our freaking podcast went away immediately, and we were like, it took us forever to get it back up. Not forever, like maybe 5 minutes, which in this type of thing is an eternity. So, Carl said, did you find the one I put in your car, Renee? The dolls. But anyways, okay, so we're just going to go through a bunch of these little videos.
Did you get pictures of Carl with the wig on?
So some of these videos, I try to get them cut up as much as I could cleanly, but it was not as easy. But
no worries.
So we'll play it a couple of times. They usually loop about 3 times or once after each time. So I'll go and play this here, and haunted or not, this is what is out in the world. Oh, hang on, you can't see it. Helps if you do it right.
What the?
We're not back yet. Okay, we are now. All right, that was just one video. I don't know what to think of it. Could have just shifted in the case, possibly. I mean, not everything's
That's
programmable.
pretty forceful, I mean, of a shift.
Right.
And I mean, nothing else vibrated in there and moved, unless somebody is like through the wall on the other side and like moved it.
Well, but the thing is, you'd have to bang against the wall because that looked like that was tucked back in a curio, like a display case,
Yeah.
kind of back in the corner.
But unless they've cut through the wall and through
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
and everything.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of work just
Yeah,
to do
just
that,
to
for,
host
and that's
something.
for the news. It looks like.
Right.
So
Yeah, and you've seen that. It said Annabelle doll in quotation. It's not really obviously Annabelle. The real Annabelle doll is not what you see the porcelain doll on
Raggedy
TV.
Ann.
It's Raggedy Ann, yep. So, but it was pretty cool. That's just one video I found and I thought it was fun. One of my favorite spots we went to is back in the day, and Jason's never been there. We got to go to this museum and investigate, and you you walk into this main room. It's a big room, just case after case of dolls staring at you in every which direction, and one of them's creepy.
you have it in
I have a
the
picture.
intro
Oh, yeah,
or
in the
the
intro.
or the out or the out.
I don't know where the hell that is. I'll have to find that picture
If
too.
people even go to Everyday Legacy Paranormal Twitter account, I
It's
think
out there, yeah.
it's on the Twitter account. So.
I usually it's one of the first videos I ever, or I'm sorry, one of the first pictures I ever posted because it was just so cool. I'm like, oh man, what it was a doll that caught my attention because it has these big gigantic eyes, and the reason why it does is because, oh crap, that thing's just crashed. Oh, there it goes. It was back in the days during the
Tuberculosis.
TB phase. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say where. And they wanted people that had this disease to have a doll that looked like them versus because you've seen all the other dolls, the porcelain dolls from that era, they were all cute and and small and whatever. And to somebody who had this disease, it's like, well,
Their eyes are kind of.
I don't look like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's not how I look. Why, So they wanted it to have a doll like that. I don't know if I can find that real quick. Dang it, should have been. I didn't even think about that doll until right now.
That's okay.
But I'll keep looking for it behind the scenes. So that's just one video. But this next one here, and to my knowledge, none of these have been faked, and if they have been, so be it.
They're still kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing to watch because, like I said, I love messing with dolls, especially when it comes to investigations.
I mean, you're always filming them, so therefore, if we film something that actually moves, people are gonna say that we faked it. But that's what we're trying to do is get it to move without us even touching it.
Right,
So.
exactly. So this next one here is, and it's in Spanish. So any of you Spanish speakers out there, I've seen this one a million times, but everywhere. It's just a guy filming his daughter, and she comes across this doll. I'm missing a video. I just noticed that. Sorry, I'm finding myself out loud. It was supposed to be on here.
It happens with age.
All right, here we go again. Jason's over here laughing. Sorry. I can't tell if the sound on those videos are going out. I apologize or not. There's sound on some of those videos. She screams like crazy. You can see the Barbie doll moves in her left hand.
You don't see her hand actually move and do that.
No, it just moves on its own. So
yeah, that's what the hell.
Yeah, she's just filming, and her dad is, I think, is talking to her, and she just looks at it and like, ah! She screams because she sees it move in her hand.
Like whips its head right over at her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
I love dolls. They're like that. I'm about to start.
I mean, it's just the head. You know, that'd be hard to do with even string or anything. I mean, without you seeing something.
Well, and I mean, you got a child also too. That
right.
She has to be a good actress to.
Oh yeah.
You know, or an actor. You know, that has to.
She's got to play along with that.
Right, and not break character at all. So. I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, this is another one too. This is another famous one. The video on this one, the quality is not as good. It's pretty grainy, but still pretty freaking awesome. Another doll. Gotta love dolls.
Dude.
All right.
So do you think that's legit?
Okay, that one, I don't know if the video went out, the sound on that one, they describe what's going on in there. This girl got this doll. She's 15 years old. It's like, for Hispanic people, they do what's called a quinceañera. It's a special, like a rite passage kind of a thing where, I guess you would call it the teenage mother, you know, or the teenage woman years, whatever kind of a thing. So they always have a special party for them. And this is the doll she got, and at that given time, she's talking about that doll. She said, I got this doll for her, and I don't like it because it's creepy. And as soon as she said that, she happens to look over. That's when she looks over at the doll. She's like just kind of not really bad-mouthing the doll, and that's when the thing turns and looks at her. And that's why she like throws it, like, oh my God, and freaks out and throws it, you know. Or, you know, there's no sound. God dang it. I don't know why there's no sound. I was trying to figure that out, Carl. I apologize. Dang it. Yeah, you couldn't hear. I mean, no sound on the doll, right? The videos, right? People at home. Hello.
Yeah, I can't tell if that was like legit or not. I mean, you can't tell. Again, you can't tell any strings or anything on that.
Right.
Because it's just the head. And I guess maybe the arms kind of move a little bit to shift with it. Again, you can't tell if any.
He means no sound on the video. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I already
messed
said
up. Yeah.
I already said you can't see strings or anything to it, so.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant. Sorry. Renee said there's no sound on the doll video. Yeah, I don't know why the sound's not going on those videos, but.
That's okay. I mean,
but
the visual is what you want.
Yeah, that's most what you want too, anyways. So just expect that. And you can see these all on YouTube if you just search out creepy dolls. You can find all these. So there's more. Don't worry, we got plenty more to show you. These are all
Leo in his spare time looking at dolls.
Whatever. I like fun, creepy stuff. I like haunted stuff. What can I say? So, this next one I found intriguing is I've seen this many times in different things. It's a World War II puppet. This guy was a ventriloquist, and it's a famous. Well, not famous. It's a famous one to the paranormal world, kind of a thing. And all that's left of it is the mechanical part of it, the head, and the things that move the head, and, you know, the features and stuff like that. But it's so haunted that they've put this in a case to supposedly prevent it from.
Do they have a backstory to it, or who it is, and?
Just been haunted by a spirit, and I think the guy obviously ran it. He's just passed on now, you know. So they just it could be the spirit of that guy, or they just basically don't know. But this thing is definitely haunted, and you'll see why. Now, could it be one of those ones that's fake? We'll see.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Nope, you can't see it. Close your eyes.
Damn it.
All right. I told you wrong. That's just one of a different puppet that also too that moves. You can see the little mechanical parts move in the back. Um, the one I'm talking about has just the head. I'll show you that. I think I have it here still. I think I grabbed the wrong video, but this is also a puppet ventriloquist doll. Where the hell is it? It's not there. Awesome.
Got my hopes up.
I'll have to find it. I know I have it here somewhere. I don't know why it did not show up. What the hell?
Have they ever caught that doll that's the sailor?
Robert the doll?
Yeah, Robert the doll. Have they ever caught that moving? Or is he just...
I don't think
they ever
I don't think they have. I think mostly what it is, and that's the doll that we were talking about earlier that we put up on here.
Killed our podcast.
For lack of a better term, yeah. Where the hell did the thing go? Oh, hang on, I know what I'm doing. Sorry, I apologize. I was trying to find that.
Do you?
No, I don't know, honestly. I wanted to see if I can find that one doll I was talking about. I don't know why it disappeared.
Leo has too many dolls in his life.
Whatever. Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. Dang it. Well, the other one disappeared now all of a sudden, and that's crazy enough as itself. I had recorded another one, and it's not there. Okay, so we'll just go on to the next video. I apologize. So let's see what I've played so far. Oh, dang it, now it's messed up everything. Hang on one second. There we go. Okay, I should go back one. So, this next one is just another doll. Imagine that. These are all dolls, obviously.
Oh, God. What the hell?
Alright, we're back.
That's
It's Jason's favorite because it's naked. Naked
No.
baby doll. No, he was making a comment off camera here. He said, now that could be easily faked with some, fishing wire.
just because, I mean, in a motion of just going up and down,
Yeah.
that could, but, okay.
Or even, wired for, like, mechanical somehow.
Okay, so the arm actually, like, stays, I don't know. It's probably, like, in a motion, like, it's stuck in that motion, and then if you did have wire to it, or string, you could raise it up, but what about the whole it going back down? You'd have to, like, push it down.
Right. I don't know.
Unless it automatically, was easy to just let go and let it go back down. But I don't see any wire to it, but who knows?
See, the thing I would like to see on that is, was it a doll that was one of those ones you put batteries in and it moves on its own kind of a thing? And if so, is there no batteries in it right now? Because that brings up
You
another...
think that thing had batteries?
No. This looks like an older doll that has been handed down.
Yeah.
But yeah, fishing string is a good thing. It could easily be, especially
Maybe.
that's how a lot of stuff is.
I just
faked,
don't know how you let
unfortunately.
it go down unless you just release
Put on
it.
a pulley system, maybe to control. There's ways to fake it. I would
But
imagine.
why would
so.
you go through all that trouble?
Just
Okay.
for a viral video, and especially this day and age.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, there's more. I got about 4 more or so. So let's continue.
What the hell is going on?
She's doing this.
Oh. Is the thing above them?
I'll leave our mics on. Okay, we'll leave our mics on since there's no sound. Yeah, it's the thing in the middle.
Up above.
Of in the bookcase on top of the TV. You'll see it again.
Cause it's
watch, it's not there right now.
Oh, okay.
And then
okay.
All of a sudden it's lit. Now this could be faked easily too. It rises all of a sudden like out of the dead. See how it just rose up? Hey, here I am.
Interesting. Okay, so why would they do cups and in that little presentation just to have, the fake or a doll raise up? I don't know.
Right. I mean, it could be easily faked with some kind of
Very cool
mechanical thing. The kids may not be even in on it. That's why they're not reacting to it as such,
Right.
Or maybe they are too. Who knows? It's especially from that angle. It's so far away.
It is.
It's hard to see what's going on, kind of a thing. But
it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just different. It's a different video I've never seen before until today.
Right.
That intrigued me. But we got more. But wait, there's more. Let's see here what we got next. Okay, so the story on this one, this is a good one. We'll just play it, and then I'll come back with it as far as what's happening. Once is all you get. All right.
Wait, what do you think?
Well, to see the backstory about this doll, and I don't know if I buy into it. It's supposedly a 400-year-old doll, a nutcracker that's been handed down.
400. Wow.
I mean, it's a German doll is what it is. It's been handed around. That's me making that noise. Sorry. I don't know. That one can be easily faked too. I mean, you can, if it's mechanical to begin with, you can open the mouth and close. If you guys saw that at home, the mouth was opening, and then also the thing shifted to the right, or to its right.
Right.
The dog did react, like what the hell's going on up there, kind of looking. So, but didn't really bark or anything. Not that you could have heard it anyways. There's no sound.
Right.
Sarcastic. But it's the fact that this thing moved on its own, the mouth is moving. I mean, I don't know what to think. I don't know if I buy the backstory. I could put a backstory to anything, and claim it's an old doll. And
I mean, if they have proof to back it up, then that's great.
I'd almost have to see it in person to be like, oh yeah, that thing is haunted, kind of a thing. Versus, just, I don't know.
But to see its mouth move like that, I mean,
like it's talking basically.
Yeah. And the dog is, and the dog's not really paying attention to anyone else in the room,
right,
or anything. So it's just paying attention to that.
Exactly. So I mean, it was pretty interesting itself, and just
because I mean, do you see the dog actually turn and look toward the camera or somebody else in the room or anything? No, it's just focusing up on that.
And why was it being filmed? That was my next question in the first place.
That's my question about everything. Why are you filming it? You just happen to be, filming this one thing in hopes that something might jump out and do something.
Unless it knew that it's haunted or whatever, possibly, so they decided to go ahead and do that.
True. If they've seen it move before, then great. They put up a camera and they let it go.
Yep. Sorry, I found that other video I was trying to find.
Very cool.
With the puppet head. Well, it's downloading right now, so I'm going to the next one real quick here.
Okay.
There's more. As always, there's always more. Let me grab the next video here real quick. Oh, nope, that's the same video. I lied. Amateur. Give me a second. I thought I cleared that out. I'll just play it again with it. That works. While I find the next one. Okay. Oops. What happened? Dang it. Alright, here we go. So here's another video. They're playing obviously with the Ouija board. And the bear starts moving above them. Once again, fakeable, yes. Possibly.
That guy just look up to it.
He sees it right now. He's like pointing to it, and the guys that are watching don't believe him. They're like, "What? There's no freaking doll moving up there. That bear's moving." So keep watching. They go and pick it up. He shakes it around a little bit, kind of a thing. He's like, "There's no doll moving. You're losing your mind." So they start playing again until they all witness it, and then they run. So once again, is it possible it's mechanical? Who knows?
I don't know. That's I've never seen a mechanical bear doing that kind of movement.
Boo Bear.
Boo Bear doesn't move.
I thought it moved.
Nope.
It doesn't.
No, it just sits there.
Okay.
Sits there and talks.
And talks.
And scares
And
everybody who
talks.
doesn't know that it talks. You know. So.
Yep.
No, I wish it moved. But no, I've never seen a bear actually do that before. But it's, I mean, he picks it up and moves it. I mean, at least he does that. Man, the bear's like dancing almost.
Right.
So would you run?
Would I run?
I mean,
oh, have you ever seen me run?
Okay, so they're sitting there doing the Ouija board. What do they expect?
Right.
You know, so here they are doing the Ouija board. They see the bear come to life and move, and what do? They run like little kids. You know?
Right.
I don't get it.
No, I don't. I would never run. I'd run towards it. Like, what the hell is that? That's awesome.
You know, you started it. You might as well keep going with the board and talking
Right.
with it, you know, and doing stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't understand everyone's reaction to run. You know, I'm going to do this Ouija board, or I'm going to go in there.
Right. Okay, this is the one I tried playing earlier. I couldn't find. This is the ventriloquist one I was telling you about from World War II.
Okay.
This doll. It's just the head, and you'll see what it's about. Or not. There it goes.
Oh, creepy. That is very, very creepy. Oh. Okay. The eyes moved.
Plus the glass case opens.
Yeah.
And there's some dust or orbs.
Orbs.
See, all the thing that was left is just
The mouth.
the mechanical things in the eyes. Yeah, it's moving on its own. Allegedly.
Orb. Wow. That's interesting. Can easily pop the door open with
Pitch wire again, yeah. So it's still interesting. I mean, because if you believe the thing, it's a World War II video or doll ventriloquist.
If it was
doll.
just moving, you know, and stuff like that inside the glass, that's one thing. But you know, with the glass popping open, why are you popping the glass open?
Right. Well, it just adds to the effect of, oh, this doll's haunted. It opened the glass on its own. And the spirit's letting itself out. And
But the puppet itself would never have done that because it's a puppet. But itself moving and stuff, you know, that's what it was used to doing, was moving its eyes, its mouth, its head and stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
I got two more real quick. We're running out of time.
We got 4 hours.
Oh yeah, 4 hours, 5 minutes, same
Yeah.
thing. Good.
But I feel like sometimes people do too much in a video to add to it. You know, kind of like the
Right.
like last podcast, the hallway with the flipping,
Sure.
The lights flicking on and off, and the door
Right.
slamming and everything. The lights were too much. Had
Yeah.
it just been in the darkness and
Mhm.
the door opening and slamming, you know, and then they go down there with a flashlight, would have been a little bit more believable, maybe.
Yeah. And see, this one they deliberately put a night vision camera on there to watch this thing because they supposedly knew it was haunted and they heard this before.
Right.
And
I wonder if the glass ever did open before.
that part I don't know.
You know,
Yeah.
that's something I'd want to ask.
But this is one of the more famous haunted dolls supposedly out there that I've heard before.
the head.
I've seen it on some of the shows actually. They brought it
Really?
out. Yeah, some of the video shows.
Where's this at? What state?
I kind of can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to
Damn
find it. Yeah. I was so busy just getting videos. I didn't even
I know.
get all the. I got some of the backstory. I didn't get all the backstories of every like locations and whatnot.
Right.
There's some of them are all over the world, but
And they've never even caught Annabelle moving.
well, there's a whole 5 top Annabelle movements, but none of them are very good. I mean, as far as
how they once claimed that she was crossing her own legs and
Right.
standing and moving about.
Well, one of them was when I'm about to say Anna Warren. When Lorraine Warren was still alive, she's doing a video from there, like they're talking to her interview and stuff like that, and the photographer, the videographer, I guess is the person who was filming, the cameraman was filming, and supposedly the doll moved, but I think it's because he moved his camera to get in focus, and that made it give the illusion it was moving.
Gotcha.
But there's another one that shows where she supposedly looks like her chest is moving up and down, like breathing and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple different things. I was gonna grab those, but I'm like, I don't see anything in here. It's not worth. I mean, I respect the doll because I believe the story behind it, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna badmouth it. I won't badmouth a doll
Yeah.
like that ever. Same thing with Robert the doll and things like that because
No.
it does have negative. Peggy the doll, any of that stuff. If you
Yeah.
watch, I don't know if how many of you guys watch Ghost Adventures or not. I know Jason hasn't really been watching it lately, but
No.
if you do, go back to the quarantine episodes or when Jack goes to his haunted museum. He has a room full of dolls, obviously, and he has some of the more haunted dolls out there. And this last week's episode of the quarantine 4-part series, he puts 4 of the most haunted dolls he has together in one location and does some things with it, and it got some cool effects going on. So it wasn't a bad episode, I mean, as far as that goes, but whatever. So a couple more videos and then we'll wrap up for the evening. We'll have like 3 hours of dead air basically to make that midnight deadline. So
We could talk.
I know we could.
We could talk.
So all right, here we go. This is another video. So it's kind of a longer video. Some lady's filming all of her dolls. As you can see, she has a room full of dolls, some creepy, some just normal. It's towards the end of the video, you'll notice this one particular doll. You'll see it, and I'll point it out if it doesn't blatantly obvious. It's going to be one, kind of a bald head looking one. It's coming up soon, So...
Holy crap.
Yeah, she's a room full of dolls. Some of them are creepy, like those ones right there. Okay, it has like a black shirt on it. She's zooming in. That's the part I get kind of. Not this one. Right here, the overall one. Or the one behind it. See that doll?
Oh, it's an arm.
Yeah, the arm just moved. So, we'll show it one more time because it's a long video, I know that. And plus, there's some crazy dolls. I'm kind of jealous she has all these dolls because they're kind of cool looking. So.
I kind of see some of the ones like up at top.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one you were trying to
yeah.
find, the
I need to find that still.
tuberculosis one.
Right, well, I'm thinking about that. Good call.
It's on your Twitter.
Well, I have a picture of it somewhere. I got it because I have all these dumb things. I'm sorry. Let me get that out of the way. Hope.
That's just kind of crazy with that. Yeah, just in a... You either see it or you don't.
Mm-hmm. That's coming up again right when she zooms in almost. It's the doll behind. There's a doll with overalls right next to it, in front of it, and there. The arm moves.
It has red hair. It's almost like a little mini Chucky.
I didn't see that. That one, I don't know. Could it be the vibration of her walking around and creating that illusion that the thing falls?
Maybe. I don't
Possibly.
know. I don't know.
Renee goes, what a weirdo. I'm never going to visit her house. You know, I remember my grandma had this one doll, and they called it Mrs. Beasley. I don't know if that's the real name. It was like some kind of doll. She used to have it back in her back room, and you pass on the way to the bathroom. And I remember my younger cousin, she was babysitting. He's Renee's age. I remember him going back there to use his restroom, and the doll's arm just happened to come down and move at the right time. I don't know if it's because of the vibration on the floor, because the house was older and kind of whatnot. But he screamed like nobody's business and came running, and my grandma had to go back there with him to walk him, escort back there, to this location, his bathroom.
Wow.
If he didn't go in his pants already, so. But yeah, so I don't know if that doll was haunted. It was creepy, but I'll give you that much. But, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, is it or is it not? So, trying to find one more thing or two more things. I have one more video to play. I'm kind of disappointed that the sounds don't play. Oh shoot, maybe it was right there. Hang on.
That's all right. Makes everybody go on YouTube and find it.
That's right. Go to the ELP Twitter page, go to Facebook page. It's out there. We have them everywhere. Let me try to find this real quick here. In the meantime, we're probably gonna run this upcoming show since Sunday is Father's Day, and I'm a father. Jason's a mother. I'm just kidding. No, some of the guys are fathers and stuff like that, and we want to spend time with our fathers, especially during this time. We're thinking about moving next week's show to Tuesday night again.
Right.
It won't be a reoccurring thing. It's just going to be for special occasions.
Yeah, Tuesday's going to be our backup night.
Yeah, so we will have a show next week. We're just going to run it, like I said, a little later, a day or two later. So please return, and watch us. While I'm finding this last picture, and then I have one more video to show, make sure you do the usual like, subscribe, to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the little bell. That way you get notified when we go live. You go live with us, because you're going to want to watch us in the upcoming weeks, especially when we do our 100th episode, the actual official 100th episode, because we're going to do some crazy investigations that we're going to do live that night, and we're going to do some tests, some experimentations, some weird stuff that's going to test our limits as people, as individuals, as ghost hunters, that I can't wait to do. It's going to be weird. It's going to be fun, but I can't wait. Come on. I'm trying to find that damn doll. Oh, I shouldn't say that damn doll. It's going to come back to haunt me in my dreams. Just kidding.
Where's the last video?
It's here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I have it right here. I'll just play the last video. If I can find it, I'll play the other one. So, this other one, it's also a sneak peek of an upcoming episode that we're going to do. It's a chance I got to go experience that the guys are jealous of. It's the infamous David Oman house.
Oh.
So, what's so special about it is he has these figurines, and it's been on all the ghost hunting episodes, there's TV shows that are out there. It's been on Ghost Adventures, it's been on Ghost Hunters, it's been everywhere. He has this set of figurines. It started out as a running joke where he got these figurines for a Halloween party, and it's Beetlejuice.
Right.
All these little figurines on this mantle. Well, it's not a mantle. It's actually a big wooden fish tank. And the thing is solid. I saw it firsthand. If you go back to watch the episode of the hunt I did that night, the ghost hunt, he'll go and reenact things for me that night. Well, he doesn't react. He shows me how solid this thing is. We open up the case itself. It's just a big, solid oak. I think it's oak.
Right.
Fish tank that sits on top. And in between there, sorry. Because I even made the point, and I wasn't calling him a liar. I believe everything he said, because I experienced it firsthand also, too. But I trust the guy and his house out in Beverly Hills. And once again, David Oman house, if you don't know what that is, that's the 150 feet from where Sharon Tate was murdered with her friends by the Charles Manson people, basically, we'll just call it that. But his house is down the street from him, and it basically has a ton of activity. And it's her, that she's there, and other people too, other of the victims that show up on her occasion. But anyways, this particular room, and it's where, if you watch the episode where I am on the camera during the actual podcast, his podcast, I'm sitting in that actual room. That's
Gotcha.
the room I'm in, yeah. And I'm having all kinds of stuff happen that it was just chaos, basically, what happens. Anyways, and we'll bring that out, and we're going to have David on the show soon enough. It shouldn't have been this long, but with Corona going on, and I'm trying to work on a video to present also to him, but also to the viewers, that you can see what happened that night I experienced with evidence and whatnot. Anyways, long story short, this is the infamous room where these figurines always fall, and I'm going to play that right now so you can see at home. And this is his video, by the way. It's not mine. I thought I might have grabbed the wrong video because it's taking a little longer. Sorry, there it is. So those are the figurines, and it's not the same figurine ever that falls. It's different ones, random ones. This is January 1st of this year, after I just visited back in December. Oh, there is sound this time.
I hope that with the passage of time, sanity would have returned. People would be willing to forget the little mistakes of the past. Little mistakes. You ask too much, Captain. Far too much. Why not ask for the earth to stop revolving in its axis. Don't ask the impossible, Captain Wilson. Do not ask forgiveness from those whom you have destroyed for a point past forgiveness. But time is short, Captain. We have something to accomplish here today. Accomplish? What? Your trial. It is time for your trial, Captain. The court is convened in Compound 6. The court? What is this nonsense? Is this a joke? No. No joke, Captain. Your trial. You will be tried.
Beat the receiver, there was another receiver to play, but not the man who caught the ball. So let me play devil's advocate for a Wisconsin fan who's saying, how can you make that call? The defender stepped into the receiver. You're saying he has to work through that instead of push it. Spin on, stop, turn, but you can't, or swim through it, but you can't push through it. So inside a 240 is playing out, or you're trying to protect this lead and bleed away.
So Jason brought up, he said he's pounded on the actual, well, the wood structure itself. Actually, Zach Bagans, and the episode just aired a week ago, matter of fact, Thursday I think it was, for the Omen House investigation, so you can go back and watch that too, from when the Ghost Adventures did it. Zach and Nick and all them, Aaron, pound on the actual top of that, and that thing doesn't budge. They don't even move,
Right.
flicker. He did it on that episode. He did it on my episode too, where David weighs about 150, 160 pounds, somewhere in that area. He stands right next to it, jumps off the ground about 2 feet or 1 feet, whatever how it is, lands right next to it. Nothing budges. So
you got to flick it. So you got to actually hit it.
on our episode, I opened it up because like, is it possible? You know, I mean, just for the viewers at home, I made that clear. I was like, there's nothing wired here. He's like, no, hell no. He opens it up and he shows me. It's just the inside of the case, basically. Nothing's there. So there's nothing pulling on it. As you can see in the video, he went back and turned the lights on because he was watching the video in the background. As you saw in the instruction or the title.
Right.
He's watching Twilight Zone of all things. And this stuff falls. And this happens all the time. It happened like at 2 in the morning and 3 in the morning. It happens randomly, but it does happen whenever. I tried to get it to make sure it would fall that night when I was up there by myself. I was talking to the spirits up there, the entities, and it never would fall for me. I was like so disappointed because that was one of the things I've always wanted to see happen in that house. Because I knew of it from years past. Didn't happen, but it's okay. Doesn't mean it won't happen again. So, and like I said, I trust the guy. I've been there. I witnessed it. I experienced things I can't explain that followed me back here to Kansas that doesn't make sense and had a lingering effect on me, which we will definitely bring to you in a special episode once we get everything sorted out, evidence-wise and also video-wise, and once I have a chance to talk to David and give his stamp of approval on it, because I respect the guy. I'm not going to just throw stuff out there that will discredit what he's done.
Right.
I respect him too much. So basically, that's going to be the end of our show. I know Jason promised 4 hours. He can stay down here for 3 hours. I'm done. I'm going to go eat. I'm hungry.
Yeah,
so.
I'm hungry too.
No, nonetheless. But thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. Like I said, we're going to be coming back. Well, we'll be back next Tuesday, a week from today, for the next episode, the 105th episode. But we are going to do a special 100th episode from an actual haunted location where we're going to test the limits for ourselves plus the place itself, and
maybe a Saturday, maybe a Friday night, something like that.
I'm hoping maybe for a Saturday that way we can go longer.
Oh yeah.
That we can do 5 hours that way, or whatever we want to do all day. Who knows? We'll do something special because we want to, like I said, test our limits. But we also want to, like I said, see what the place has to offer because we've been there and it's crazy and it happens. Crazy stuff happened. We were just there 2 weeks ago and it was crazy. So we'll definitely have some fun planned for you guys. So once again, hit the like button, subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you soon, Tuesday.
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the viewers, new and old, that have stuck with us. We appreciate it. We do this for you guys because we love telling our stories. We love telling our experiences. We love talking, basically.
We love talking.
And we love you guys, so definitely stick with us.
I don't, but Leo does.
Haha.
Nah.
You heard it here first. Jason doesn't love you guys. So, nonetheless, we'll see you guys next week
Absolutely.
for an all new Cryptic Heartland podcast. Thanks, guys.
See ya.